National Electrical Code Section 4.3b states that equipment shall be suitable for the specific environment in which it is used. National Electrical Code Section 11.11(2) regarding electric raceways requires raceways to be listed and labeled for use in wet or damp locations. National Fire Protection Association 72 addresses the installation and maintenance of fire alarm systems, including early suppression fast response sprinklers. National Fire Protection Association 75 includes requirements for protecting information technology equipment from fire, including water damage from sprinklers. NEMA 250 defines types of enclosures suitable for various environmental conditions, including wet and corrosive environments. NEMA 4 enclosures, which are watertight, protect against the ingress of water from hose streams and splashing. NEMA 6 enclosures, which are corrosion-resistant, protect against corrosion from industrial acids, alkalis, and other chemicals. NEMA 6P enclosures are submersible, protecting against submersion in water. International protection ratings provide a measure of protection against dust and water ingress, where higher international protection ratings indicate greater protection. When considering NEMA ratings for buildings with early suppression fast response sprinklers for equipment and devices, it is recommended to use NEMA 6, NEMA 6P, or International Protection 68. For lights, it is recommended to use NEMA 4 or International Protection 67. For raceways, it is recommended to use NEMA 4 or International Protection 66. Firstly, ensure that all equipment and raceways are properly sealed and protected from water ingress. Secondly, consider using waterproof connectors and fittings. Thirdly, mount equipment and lights above the expected water level from sprinkler discharge. Fourthly, regularly inspect and maintain electrical systems in early suppression fast response protected areas. It is critical to select the appropriate NEMA rating for electrical enclosures and components in areas protected by early suppression fast response sprinkler systems. These systems, designed for rapid fire suppression, discharge a significant amount of water, potentially exposing electrical equipment to moisture and corrosion. The National Electrical Manufacturers Association, or NEMA, establishes standards for electrical enclosure types based on their ability to protect against various environmental conditions, including water ingress. Understanding these ratings is essential for ensuring the safety and reliability of electrical systems in such environments. NEMA 4 enclosures are designed to provide protection against splashing water, hose-directed water, and falling dirt. They are commonly used indoors and outdoors where equipment may be subjected to washdowns or exposure to rain. NEMA 4X enclosures offer the same protection as NEMA 4, but also provide enhanced resistance to corrosion. They are suitable for use in environments where exposure to corrosive agents, such as chemicals or saltwater, is likely. NEMA 6 enclosures are designed to provide protection against temporary submersion in water. They are commonly used in applications where equipment may be submerged for short periods, such as in tanks or pits. NEMA 6P enclosures offer the same protection as NEMA 6, but also provide protection against prolonged submersion. They are suitable for use in applications where equipment may be submerged for extended periods, such as in wastewater treatment plants or underwater installations. Selecting the appropriate NEMA rating for electrical enclosures in early suppression fast response sprinkler protected areas requires careful consideration of the specific environmental conditions. Factors to consider include the likelihood of water exposure, the duration of potential submersion, and the presence of corrosive agents. In general, NEMA 4 or 4X enclosures are suitable for most applications where equipment is likely to be exposed to splashing water or hose streams. However, NEMA 6 or 6P enclosures may be necessary in areas where equipment is at risk of temporary or prolonged submersion. In addition to NEMA ratings, international protection ratings, often expressed as IP followed by 2 digits, provide another means of specifying the degree of protection offered by electrical enclosures. The first digit indicates the level of protection against solid objects, such as dust, while the second digit indicates the level of protection against liquids. For example, An enclosure with an international protection rating of International Protection 67 is dust-tight and can withstand temporary immersion in water. An enclosure with an International Protection rating of International Protection 68 is also dust-tight and can withstand prolonged immersion in water. When selecting electrical equipment for use in early suppression fast response sprinkler protected areas, it is important to choose products that are specifically designed for wet or damp locations. These products typically feature corrosion-resistant materials, watertight seals, and other features to prevent water ingress. Wiring methods used in early suppression fast response sprinkler protected areas should also be selected to minimize the risk of water damage. Conduit systems should be properly sealed to prevent water from entering the raceways. Cables should be rated for wet locations and should be installed in a manner that prevents water from wicking into the conductors. In addition to selecting appropriate NEMA ratings and wiring methods, it is also important to implement proper installation practices to ensure the long-term reliability of electrical systems in early suppression fast response sprinkler protected areas. Enclosures should be properly mounted and sealed to prevent water from entering. Conduit systems should be properly supported and grounded to prevent damage from vibration or movement. Cables should be properly terminated and secured to prevent stress on the conductors. Regular inspection and maintenance are also essential for ensuring the continued performance of electrical systems in early suppression fast response sprinkler protected areas. Enclosures should be inspected periodically for signs of damage or corrosion. Wiring systems should be inspected for loose connections or damaged insulation. Grounding systems should be tested to ensure proper continuity. Any deficiencies identified during inspection should be promptly corrected to prevent further damage or safety hazards. Early suppression fast response sprinkler systems are designed to quickly suppress fires by discharging a large volume of water over a relatively small area. This rapid water discharge can pose a significant risk to electrical equipment that is not properly protected. Water can cause short circuits, equipment failures, and even electrical shocks. Therefore, it is essential to select electrical equipment with appropriate NEMA ratings for use in areas protected by early suppression fast response sprinkler systems. The National Electrical Code provides specific requirements for electrical equipment installed in wet or damp locations. These requirements are designed to minimize the risk of electrical hazards caused by water exposure. The National Electrical Code defines a wet location as an area that is subject to saturation with water or other liquids. Examples of wet locations include car washes, washrooms, and areas subject to flooding. The National Electrical Code defines a damp location as an area that is partially protected from the weather and is subject to moderate degrees of moisture. Examples of damp locations include basements, barns, and cold storage warehouses. For electrical equipment installed in wet locations, the National Electrical Code requires the use of enclosures that are watertight and corrosion-resistant. NEMA 4, 4X, 6, and 6P enclosures are all suitable for use in wet locations, depending on the specific environmental conditions. For electrical equipment installed in damp locations, the National Electrical Code requires the use of enclosures that are suitable for the environment. NEMA 1, 2, 3, 3R, 4, and 4X enclosures are all suitable for use in damp locations, depending on the specific environmental conditions. In addition to NEMA ratings, international protection ratings can also be used to specify the degree of protection offered by electrical enclosures. International protection ratings consist of 2 digits. The first digit indicates the level of protection against solid objects, such as dust. The second digit indicates the level of protection against liquids. For example, an enclosure with an international protection rating of International Protection 65 is dust-tight and protected against water jets. An enclosure with an international protection rating of International Protection 67 is dust-tight and protected against temporary immersion in water. When selecting electrical equipment for use in early suppression fast response sprinkler protected areas, it is important to consider both NEMA ratings and international protection ratings. The appropriate rating will depend on the specific environmental conditions and the level of protection required. In addition to selecting appropriate enclosures, It is also important to use wiring methods that are suitable for wet or damp locations. The National Electrical Code specifies several wiring methods that are approved for use in these locations, including rigid metal conduit, intermediate metal conduit, electrical metallic tubing, and liquid tie flexible metal conduit. These wiring methods are designed to protect conductors from moisture and physical damage. Proper grounding is also essential for electrical safety in early suppression fast response sprinkler protected areas. Grounding provides a path for fault current to flow back to the source, which helps to prevent electrical shocks and equipment damage. The National Electrical Code requires that all electrical equipment be properly grounded in accordance with its requirements. In addition to selecting appropriate equipment and wiring methods, it is also important to follow proper installation practices. Enclosures should be properly sealed to prevent water from entering. Conduit systems should be properly supported and grounded. Cables should be properly terminated and secured. Regular inspection and maintenance are also essential for electrical safety in early suppression fast response sprinkler protected areas. Enclosures should be inspected periodically for signs of damage or corrosion. Wiring systems should be inspected for loose connections or damaged insulation. Grounding systems should be tested to ensure proper continuity. Any deficiencies identified during inspection should be promptly corrected. Early suppression fast response sprinkler systems are a critical component of fire protection in many buildings. However, these systems can also pose a risk to electrical equipment if proper precautions are not taken. By selecting electrical equipment with appropriate NEMA ratings and international protection ratings, using suitable wiring methods, following proper installation practices, and performing regular inspection and maintenance, it is possible to ensure the safety and reliability of electrical systems in early suppression fast response sprinkler protected areas. Selecting the correct NEMA rating for electrical equipment in areas with early suppression fast response sprinkler systems is a crucial aspect of electrical safety and system reliability. The primary function of NEMA ratings, as defined by the National Electrical Manufacturers Association, is to classify enclosures based on their ability to protect electrical components from various environmental conditions. In environments with early suppression fast response sprinklers, the primary concern is water ingress, which can lead to short circuits, corrosion, and equipment failure. NEMA 4 enclosures are designed to protect against splashing water, hose-directed water, and falling dirt. They are suitable for both indoor and outdoor use where equipment is likely to be exposed to washdowns or rain. However, they may not be sufficient in areas where submersion is possible. NEMA 4X enclosures provide the same level of protection as NEMA 4 but also offer enhanced resistance to corrosion. This makes them ideal for environments where exposure to chemicals or saltwater is likely, which could be present in some industrial settings or due to the sprinkler system's additives. NEMA 6 enclosures are designed to protect against temporary submersion in water. These are typically used in applications where equipment may be submerged for short periods, such as in tanks or pits. NEMA 6P enclosures offer protection against prolonged submersion, making them suitable for applications where equipment may be submerged for extended durations, such as in wastewater treatment plants. When selecting the appropriate NEMA rating, it is essential to consider the specific conditions of the environment. Factors to consider include the likelihood of water exposure, the duration of potential submersion, and the presence of corrosive substances. In areas where early suppression fast response sprinkler systems are installed, the risk of significant water exposure is high, at least during a fire event. Therefore, NEMA 4 or 4X enclosures are generally recommended as a minimum. However, if there is a possibility of equipment being submerged, NEMA 6 or 6P enclosures should be considered. International protection ratings provide an alternative method of specifying the level of protection offered by electrical enclosures. International protection ratings consist of 2 digits, with the first digit indicating protection against solid objects and the second digit indicating protection against liquids. For example, an enclosure with an international protection rating of International Protection 67 is dust tight and can withstand temporary immersion in water. An enclosure with an international protection rating of International Protection 68 is dust tight and can withstand prolonged immersion in water. When selecting electrical equipment for use in early suppression fast response sprinkler protected areas, it is essential to choose products that are specifically designed for wet or damp locations. These products typically feature corrosion-resistant materials, watertight seals, and other features to prevent water ingress. Proper installation practices are also crucial for ensuring the long-term reliability of electrical systems in these areas. Enclosures should be properly mounted and sealed to prevent water from entering. Wiring methods should be selected to minimize the risk of water damage. Conduit systems should be properly sealed, and cables should be rated for wet locations. Regular inspection and maintenance are also essential for identifying and addressing any potential issues before they lead to equipment failure or safety hazards. Enclosures should be inspected for signs of damage or corrosion, and wiring systems should be checked for loose connections or damaged insulation. In addition to selecting appropriate NEMA ratings and international protection ratings, it is also essential to consider the specific requirements of the National Electrical Code and other applicable standards. The National Electrical Code provides detailed requirements for electrical equipment installed in wet or damp locations, including requirements for enclosures, wiring methods, and grounding. By following these requirements, it is possible to ensure the safety and reliability of electrical systems in early suppression fast response sprinkler protected areas.